The market has just flipped, and if you're selling, it might already be too late. What's happening right now in the Fraser Valley isn't just a seasonal slowdown, it's a power shift, and it's caught a lot of sellers off guard. Inventory is surging, prices are dipping, and homes that used to sell in bidding wars are now just sitting there on the market unsold. Buyers are holding back, confidence is eroding, and for the first time in a long time, it's not the buyers who are panicking, it's the sellers. So what's causing this shift? Is it the spike in new listings, the growing condo vacancy problem in Vancouver, or is it something deeper, like what's happening politically or economically in the country right now? Well, stay with me because what's playing out in Surrey and across the Fraser Valley is part of a much bigger story. One that involves inflation pressure, political shifts, trade uncertainty, and a surprising wild card that most sellers, they haven't even considered yet. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand why the Fraser Valley market is reacting the way it is, and exactly what you need to do to either protect your equity or seize the moment as a buyer. And stick around because I'm going to share with you a specific number. How many thousands of condos are now sitting unsold in Greater Vancouver? And that number alone, it's going to explain why properties in Surrey are suddenly harder to move, even when they are priced right. So here's what we're seeing right now in the Fraser Valley. In May 2025, there were 1,183 home sales, okay? That is up slightly from April, but it is still 22% lower than this same time last year. Now, inventory, meanwhile, it has exploded, right? There are 10,626 active listings on the market. That is a 34% increase year over year. And get this, that is 54% above the 10-year average. Benchmark prices are starting to feel the pressure. Detached homes in the Fraser Valley, they dropped 1.6% month over month to $1,480,000. Condos, well, they are down 0.9% month over month and 4% below last year's levels. And even townhomes have dipped, even slightly. They're down 2.5% year over year. So here's the bottom line. The Fraser Valley is now officially sitting in buyer's market territory, with the sales to active listing ratio around 11%. And that's a significant psychological shift from where we were just 12 months ago. And if you're in Surrey, this matters even more. Surrey has seen one of the largest jumps in active listings, which means buyers have more choice and sellers, well, they've got more competition. Now listen, if you want to talk about your specific situation, if you're thinking about selling or you're trying to buy and you don't want to overpay, feel free to book a call with me. There is a link in the description box below. I can guide you through that entire process. And if you are finding this video helpful, do me a favor, would you? Go ahead, give the video a thumbs up, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I know you're getting tired of hearing that, but it really does help. And as a thank you, I'm going to show you a picture of a cute little beaver. He is pretty cute, right? And hey, he's made in Canada. All right, so let's get back to what we were talking about. And here's where it gets really interesting too. And frankly, it's a little bit concerning if you're a seller in the Fraser Valley. There is a flood of unsold condos sitting in Metro Vancouver right now. According to Urban Analytics, the number of unsold new condos could surge by 60% this year, hitting nearly 3,500 units by the year's end. That is a massive jump. And on top of that, CMHC, they've reported that condo rental vacancies in Vancouver have risen to 0.9%. Now that is up slightly from the ultra low rates that we saw during the pandemic. And when you include purpose-built rentals, the overall vacancy rate in the city of Vancouver, well, it now sits at 1.6%. So why does all this matter in Surrey or the Fraser Valley? Well, because more buyers, especially investors and downsizers, they're looking east for better value. But as condo inventory balloons in Vancouver, those units, they start competing with what's on sale in places like Surrey. Now, psychologically, it changes the tone of the market. Buyers, they start to think, well, I've got time, I've got options. I don't have to jump in at the first decent deal. And that means more sellers are lowering their prices. They're offering incentives and they're watching as their listings go stale. Now let's pull back the curtain a bit and look into the political and economic undercurrents. So the Bank of Canada has been cautiously cutting the rates, but not enough to move the needle on affordability yet. And many buyers, they're just sitting on the sidelines waiting to see if rates will drop still further. Now, on the political side, our new Prime Minister Carney, well, he scrapped the federal carbon tax back in April. And that's great for household costs, but, well, it hasn't jump-started buyer confidence just yet. And then there's the wild card, which is the new US tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum. You know, they're driving up construction costs, they're creating delays, and they're making new builds even more expensive. Now, all of this is creating a market where buyers feel no urgency and sellers who actually need to sell their homes, well, they're starting to feel the pressure. But the confidence isn't there right now. And, you know, if you're not adjusting to the way things are now and how they're shifting, you're going to get left behind. So let me be blunt. This is not a time to wait and see. If you're selling in Surrey or anywhere in the Fraser Valley right now, you can't price off what homes were getting last year or even last month. Things have changed fast and buyers know it too. And if you're still anchored in those old numbers, your home is just going to sit. You need to stage and you need to market better than your neighbor's listing. The days of slapping a listing on MLS and watching offers roll in, those days are gone. And if you're on the market right now with no offers, you are not being punished. You are being ignored because you're not adjusting fast enough. And if you're thinking of buying, this market is handing you leverage. So use it wisely and don't be afraid to negotiate hard. This is your moment to get more for less, especially in the condo and the townhouse segments. In the next video, I'm going to walk you through the 3 most dangerous pricing mistakes that sellers are making right now and how smart buyers are using those mistakes to save tens of thousands of dollars. So again, make sure you're subscribed so that you don't miss out on that video. And if you have any questions whatsoever, if you want to chat more about this, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I will see you on the next video.